So in my last video where I talked about DC's Titans, I think it came off pretty clearly that I don't exactly love the show. When it comes to the 2 seasons of Titans, I can't decide which season I like more. Not because they're good or anything, more so because I can't decide which season is less
trash.
With that being said, when the trailer for Season 3 came out, I went in with an open mind, hoping that maybe there seemed to be even a glimmer of hope for Season 3. But unfortunately, Titan Season 3 seems to be more of the same. First off, what exactly is wrong with Titans? Going back to my last video, a big problem I showed off was the show's lack of consistency. The team will form, disband, only to form again, all without any emotional weight. Characters will form very underdeveloped relationships only to be broken up. To me, this seems to come from a lack of direction. No one in charge of the show seems to know what stories to tell or where to take these characters. Speaking of, the amount of characters in this show is staggering. While large casts aren't necessarily a bad thing, what kills it is how underdeveloped the characters are and how little they have to do. Take Corey for example. After being introduced in Season 1 and appearing in 18 episodes, she has slept with Dick Grayson, and that's about it. And that's just the start of it. Rachel had some importance in Season 1 and kinda just sat in her room for all of Season 2. Gar hasn't really done anything either, other than transforming into a tiger a couple times and setting up a much better show. And these people were the main characters of Season 1, alongside Dick Grayson. Dick is the only character the writers seem to care about, but even that isn't much care at all. Over the course of Titan Season 1 and 2, Dick Grayson goes through the same character arc. Dick is consumed by the darkness from his brutal upbringing under Batman, faces consequences for it, then learns to forgive Bruce and come into the light. As for the other characters, Jason Todd's actually pretty good, but I'll get to that later. Superboy joins the team with the power of underdeveloped family. Donna Troy doesn't really do anything, then dies. More on that in this video. And Hank and Dawn sing a song then break up. There's also Bruce Wayne, who hasn't had any interactions with anybody except for Dick Grayson, not even Jason, and seems way too old to have only trained Dick and Grayson, let alone Tim Drake. Other than that, the show is pretty ugly visually, with all that blue in the color grade. None of the heroes are even remotely heroic, and the villains aren't great either. But that's enough about Season 1 and 2. Let's get on to Season 3. Based on the trailer for Season 3, Titans will seem to have many of the same problems Season 1 and 2 had. But before getting into that, there is one thing I liked about the trailer, and that's Jason Todd. Now while the show's interpretation of Jason Todd isn't perfect, like his introduction which shows him already fighting as brutally as Red Hood, where instead he should have been more careless and thrill-seeking, which is what then leads him to becoming Red Hood. But other than that and some other problems like Jason not having any interactions with Bruce Wayne, and the dumb Red Hood tease in Season 2, I like this version of Jason. Now back to Season 3. What I like about the Red Hood reveal is how Jason has actually had a proper setup for it as a character. Ignoring his introduction, Jason Todd's actually had some pretty decent character development. In Season 2, Jason forms a relationship with Rose Wilson, which then gets broken when he's accused of being Deathstroke's mole. Combined with his near-death experience, Jason is literally driven to suicide by the Titans. With this setup, I can actually understand Jason's resentment towards the Titans. So now in Season 3, when he becomes the Red Hood, there's a proper setup to it, and I can actually believe that all of Jason's trauma and resentment would push him to become a villain. Other than Jason Todd's transformation into the Red Hood though, I can't really say that I'm excited for Titan Season 3.
It's over for me. Be a better Batman.
Dick Grayson has already gone through his character arc twice now. He doesn't need to again be a better Batman when he already did that exact thing in Season 2. And if being a better Batman implies being Nightwing, I can't really get behind that either. To me, Nightwing isn't a better Batman, nor is Batman a better Nightwing. These two just represent how Bruce and Dick have coped with their losses. Losing his parents at such a young age and having to deal with all that grief alone, it makes sense that Bruce Wayne hasn't truly coped with the death of his parents, and that's represented in the darkness that consumes Batman. However, when Dick lost his parents, he had Bruce to grieve with, and becoming Robin helped him bring the man who killed his parents to justice. So then when he outgrew Robin to become his own hero, Dick was able to come into the light, having been able to get over the darkness that still consumes Bruce.
And the hero bit, I'm still all in. But that thing inside of him, the thing that drives him to sacrifice everything for the sake of his mission. That's not me. I don't want to be the Batman anymore.
We've kinda seen this development in Titans, but with Season 3 seemingly giving Dick yet another Be a Better Batman storyline, it's clear that the writers don't really understand Dick Grayson, and so I don't really have high hopes for him this season. If the multitude of underdeveloped characters we have now isn't bad enough, Titans Season 3 is adding even more characters. Now since we've barely seen them, I can't really say anything about these new characters. But while these characters do have some potential, like Tim Drake being a nice juxtaposition to Jason, or Blackfire finally giving Corey something significant to do, I really wish this season chose to give the characters we have now some character development, instead of bloating the cast even more. With reused plotlines and new additions to an already underdeveloped cast, Titan Season 3 isn't looking too great. That being said, this season could surprise me and actually be good. So here are some things I'd like to see in Titan Season 3. Take your time with Red Hood. Unlike the rest of the show, Jason Todd turning into the Red Hood is actually set up properly. But I still think the writers should hold off a bit on introducing Red Hood. This would give the show some time to resolve plotlines like Blackfire and Cadmus from last season. Taking their time with Jason's death could also give the show a chance to deal with themes like grief, where the Titans come together as a team to grieve Donna, juxtaposed to Jason being alone, building more resentment towards the Titans. Ditch the whole Be a Better Batman plotline. Dick Grayson's main character development has been done twice now. Instead of going through the whole thing a third time, I think it's time for Dick to finally be a leader, and act as a mentor for the younger members of the team like Beast Boy and Rachel. The show could also give Bruce Wayne some character development, dealing with themes like regret over how he raised Dick and Jason. While the trailer shows off some high points, reused storylines, an overabundance of characters and plotlines, and a general lack of direction don't leave me too excited for this season, and unfortunately, Titan Season 3 looks like more of the same.